Hi there, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to create an artistic poster easily with Photoshop. You'll see how to crop images quickly and efficiently. All the images I'm going to use were found on free image banks. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and leave a like. It'll motivate me to create and share more. We'll start by opening Photoshop and choosing a poster size work surface, i.e. A3 format. We'll import a background image, in this case a color gradient. We'll import our first photo, which we'll use to create our main element. To quickly crop the person, we'll use the option in the Selection and Subject tabs. Photoshop will automatically find the main subject of our image. For the selection to work, it's best to use it on an image with a single color background or with very little detail. Once the selection has been made, we click on this icon in the bottom right-hand corner. This will create a mask on our layer and hide the image background. Then, using the Quick Selection tool, we'll create a selection of the area we wish to remove. If you've selected too much area, don't panic, just hold down the Alt key and select the areas you wish to remove. Once the selection is complete, we select the mask of our layer and use the Brush tool with a black color to erase inside the selected area. Once erased, small artifacts may remain. To remove them, we'll remove our selection and, still using our black brush, we'll erase these image residues. To continue our photo montage, I'm going to import the photo of our fox into Photoshop. We'll want to recover only the fox's torso, but our background is full of detail. To make a clean selection that takes into account the small details of our subject, in this case the hairs, we'll use the option in the Selection tab. Then, select and mask. This will open a new panel where our image will be covered in red. The red is the area to be masked. The aim is to make a selection using the various tools at the top left of this new panel. First, we'll use the Quick Selection tool to roughly select our fox's torso. Once this has been done, we'll use the second tool, Refine Edge Brush, which will enable a more precise selection and take into account small details such as hairs. We'll go all the way around our selection with this tool to recover as many details as possible. Once we've made our selection, we just need to validate it. Right-click on our layer and convert it into a Smart Object. Then we'll copy and paste it onto our poster work surface. From now on, we'll match the two images. Once we've positioned the fox bust, we'll duplicate our human bust layer and position it above the fox layer. Now we'll try to position the fox head proportionally and correctly. Once this is done, we'll click on the mask of our first layer and use the black brush tool to erase parts of the image to match our two images. Once this is done, we'll create a new layer, and with the brush tool in black and hardness at 0, we'll create shadows. Then we'll select our layer and right-click on it to apply the Clipping Mask option, which will put our shading directly into the fox layer. From here we just need to adjust our shading layer as we wish. To make our fox head stand out against our human bust, I'll add an effect layer called Brightness Contrast in Adjustments, which I'll drag directly into the fox layer. Then I'll increase my two values. I'll reposition my images by selecting all my layers and using the Ctrl+T shortcut to select and move them easily. We can always make minor adjustments to our masks to match our photo montage as closely as possible. For the text part, I'm going to use Adobe Illustrator to show you a few tricks. Once open, we'll use the text tool and write our text. Once we've done that, we'll duplicate it on the side and give it just one outline color. With an Alt plus left click and drag and drop, I'll duplicate and move my text to the bottom. Then to duplicate it and repeat the same operation, I'll simply press Ctrl plus D several times. This will simply repeat the last action we performed. Once duplicated, we'll select all our texts and click on the center alignment button here. We'll do a Ctrl plus G to group our elements. I'm going to increase the spacing of my letters. Then we'll apply a deformation to our group. To do this, go to the Effect tab, then Deformation and Wave. A small panel will open and we'll simply set inflection to 10%. This will influence the intensity of the deformation. When it's okay, we validate and then copy and paste our Illustrator text group directly into our Photoshop work plan. We'll position it as we wish. As I don't want my text to protrude beyond my poster, I'll apply a mask to its layer and use the brush tool to erase the lower part of my text. To add a little color to our character's jacket, I'm going to import a blurred image with several color tones in the same range. Then we'll select our layer and right-click to apply the Clipping Mask option. Then, still on my layer, I'm going to change its blend option, which will create a space of transparency and correspondence between my two layers. I'll go here and select Hue. Feel free to browse through these options to discover different ways of blending your images. I want to remove the effect on my character's hands. To do this, I'm going to add a mask to the same layer and then remove it. On my character's layer, I'll use the Quick Selection tool to create a selection area for the character's two hands. Then we'll redisplay our color layer, and in its mask we'll use the Brush tool with a black color to erase inside the selected area. Finally, in Adjustments, we'll add an effect layer called Brightness Contrast to adjust the intensity of our image as we wish. We'll also add a Hue Saturation effect layer to increase the color intensity of our poster. And here's the final result. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. I'll be happy to answer them or help you. If you liked this video, please subscribe and leave a like. It will motivate me to create more tutorials of my creations. See you on the channel.